Hello one and all, welcome to our channel. My name is Subhan. So in this new video, I am going to explain you how you can secure your Panther RESTful API using Auth0 mechanism. So before getting into that, what exactly is a Panther RESTful API? A Panther RESTful API is nothing but a application programming interface which helps you to make HTTP requests to put, post, get and delete the data. So this is the Auth0 site that is available, and you can see there are a whole set of options, like you can create application, you can assign roles, you can create rules for having some particular expressions that you need to, and you can choose the social connections that are available. So basically why we choose Auth0? So Auth0 is one of the best framework that is available for authentication and authorization, and it is user friendly and it helps you with a whole set of documentation that is available in Google. So let me just dive into this and show you how exactly you make requests. So basically in this video, we are not going to show you how to create an application and configure it. But in this video, I'm going to explain you how you can make the REST calls and what would be the response from the Panther API and how you are going to handle that. In my later videos, I will be detailed explaining you how you create an application, configure it, and how do you integrate it with Panther REST API. So this is basically the architecture diagram of securing your Panther RESTful API. So here you can see the web app, which will be talking to the Auth0 for making requests. And when we get the access token, we will be making use of it for making the REST calls to the Panther API. So basically this is a cyclic process which goes on. And yeah, so the Auth0 is acting as a middleware here. And coming into this, what exactly will be the response which we'll be getting from Auth0 when we try to access this token? So here you can see in detail when Auth0 makes a request to the user info, this will be the response that is available. So basically the Google ID, because here we are choosing Google as the authentication mechanism, the name which you'll be logging in with, the details. So there will be a lot of details that are available, but basically we'll be concentrating in with the main things like the scopes, which will be coming back, which are nothing but the permissions and the roles. If he is an admin, we'll be getting back admin. So if the user is a non-admin, so it depends on the name which we'll be opting to give. So we'll be making use of them. So let me just dive into action and show you the REST calls itself. So this is our home page for Auth0 servlet. Here you'll need to enter your Google credentials. So we chose Google as an authentication mechanism. That is why we need to enter Google credentials. You can opt to any social connections that Auth0 provides with, whether it's Facebook or GitHub. So first of all, before logging in, what is authentication and why you require authentication? At the same time, why authorization? Authentication is required to make your users authenticated with the social connections that are available before accessing the API, and at the same time authorization is required to categorize your users into roles so that you provide certain privileges to a role where you can access data and modify data, but at the same time you don't want that user to provide privilege so that he can perform the action modify on your API. So there plays a vital role for authorization. So let me just log in. So here you can see two Google credentials are available. One is admin and the other one is stakeholder. So I have given the other guy as stakeholder who don't have any privileges other than get. So I'm just trying to log in. So you can see Auth0 site is redirecting me, and here I am. So this data table which is being fetched is created by using the JSON data which is written from your Panther REST API. So as soon as I logged in with Google credentials, a GET request has been made to my Panther REST API, and based on my role and based on the authentication which I have made, I got a privilege so that I can get the data in return. So once the data is received, I have a mechanism where JSON data will be given into a data table. So here we are. So let me make the other 3 REST calls as well. So for now, I'll just create a record. So you can see there are 25 entries. So I'll be creating a new entry here, which will be 26th entry. I'll just name it as test. Some random phone number with a status and some random number. So as soon as I create here, so when I click this create button, a request will be made to my Panther REST API, that is a post request. So a new record will be entered. I just click create. I'll just refresh my table. So now I should be having 26 entries, which is true, as I was an admin and I was able to make a new record. Now let me just try to modify this record. So I'll change this rent amount to 100. Just update it. So now that record should have been updated. Yes, it is. And the last operation which I'll be performing is the delete. So as soon as I click on this delete option, REST call will be going to my Panther Servlet API and the record should be deleted as well. So all the 4 calls which I have made are successful. So this was a case where I was a user who has a role admin. Now we'll see the other user who doesn't have a role admin, but he has a privilege to just access the data, which is a GET request. So let me just try to log out this and minimize this browser so that we maintain a whole new session. So I am using Mozilla as a reference here. So the same thing, I'll be trying to logging in with Google. This time I'll be choosing the other guy. I am into the Auth0 site and I'm maintaining a session. I see all the 25 entries. So clear and out. So now I'll be trying to make a post request, which is trying to create a record. So now I should not be allowed to create a record. So the same details I'll be entering here also. Some data, status, some random numbers. So now when I click create, I should not be allowed. And you can see we provided this mechanism in a way when a user logs in with a privilege which he don't make a post and which he is not able to make a post, he should be given a pop-up with a user not authorized. So I'll just click on this, click OK. So now I should not be seeing any entries. So this is the whole scenario of the authentication and authorization. So you saw admin guy who was able to make all the requests, but non-admin, which is a stakeholder, has no privileges. So the whole scenario lies behind 2 projects which we'll be going into. So I'll be explaining you in detail in my later videos. Like this is the Auth0 project which will be coming from my Auth0 site when I create an application, and at the same time my Panther servlet plays a vital role here to exactly take the authentication mechanism and allow the user to make the requests to the Panther. And yeah, so this is the whole scenario of authentication and authorization.
Thanks for watching our video. If you have liked our video, please press the like button. If you are viewing our content for the first time, please press subscribe button. If you have any queries, either post them in the comment section or email us at support@prolifix.com.